Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank our hosts, the Museum of American Finance, and David Cohen. Thank you so much for your hospitality and having us here today. To Mr. Bill Rudin, Avni is a great organization. They've been working with us very hard for 4 years, a little shy of 4 years, and the good results we see today, and I want to thank him very much. Bill also participated on the Tax Commission that made recommendations to reform our tax code. We then instituted those recommendations from that tax commission. That's why Bill is especially happy, because he sees this as a vindication of his own work, and he deserves a lot of credit, which he does. Let's give him a round of applause, Mr. Bill Rudin. To Kathy Wild and the Partnership for New York City, likewise, they've been working with us for 4 years and helping us literally turn the financial ship of state around, which we have done significantly, and today is proof of that, and I want to thank her very much. Let's give Kathy Wild a round of applause. You know, you have to remember where we started 4 years ago. The state was virtually bankrupt. We had a $10 billion deficit. The state was gridlocked. We couldn't pass a budget. Past 30 years, 23 of the past 30 years, the state couldn't pass a budget on time. They talk about gridlock in Washington. We had gridlock before Washington ever thought of it. And we had New York-style gridlock, which was a little meaner and nastier than what they actually do in Washington. And the numbers were all terrible. And besides the numbers being terrible, there was a very negative atmosphere. People felt that the state of New York was going backwards. People felt that the state of New York was not open for business and people were leaving. And that becomes self-fulfilling. Consumer confidence takes you up. A lack of confidence takes you down. The same is true for a state. If people believe it's hostile to business, they will move. There's that famous saying that New York has no future as the tax capital of the nation. You know who made that famous saying? I did. And I think if I keep saying it, one day it will be a famous saying. But it was a really difficult situation. And we said we were going to turn the ship of state 180 degrees. And that's what we set out to do. How do you reduce taxes? You reduce cost. How do you reduce cost? You reduce the expenses. And you go to work and you make that government work better and more efficiently and more effectively. And we did what we had to do, and we got the increase in state spending to the lowest level in recorded history, 1.2%, lower than any governor in modern political history. We brought down the expenses, allowed us to cut taxes. Corporate taxes went back to the 1968 level. Personal income taxes for the middle class went to the 1953 level. Manufacturing tax went to a 1917 level. So we got taxes way down because the expenses came down, and you know what? The jobs go up. And that's what it's all about, because when the jobs are coming in, tax base is going up, opportunity is going up, hope is going up. That's what it's all about. And you know, in the political world, you have a lot of words, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of concepts. What's nice about this is, at the end of the day, there are numbers. And there's right, and there's wrong, and there's truth, and there's fiction. And the numbers are the numbers. And to go from 25th on the corporate scale to 4th in the country is really remarkable. And I want to thank the Tax Foundation for their advice. I want to thank them for their award. But it is really remarkable. I would like to say we hope to go above 4, but in truth we don't. The other states have no corporate tax, and I am ambitious and aggressive, but I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we have no corporate tax. Going from 50 to 48 is also the right direction, but there we're not done yet, and I hope to see this state continue to progress and make more progress from 48th, but it's a major positive step forward, and I appreciate that. I also appreciate the recognition and your award. I accept it not on my own behalf, but you're right, Mr. Henchman. A lot of people worked very hard to get this done. And it is Kathy Wild and it is Bill Rudin. It is a New York State legislature that passed 4 budgets on time in a row, and they hadn't done that in 40 years. It's a division of budget that did streamlining and simplification. We didn't just bring down the rates, and this was the point of the Tax Foundation. It's not just the rates, it's the simplicity of the code and the transparency of the code. And we did a lot of work in making it simpler and clearer and more transparent. And the proof is in the pudding. And the ultimate reality of all of this is the unemployment rate has gone down to 6.2%. That is the announcement that is coming out today. That is the lowest level since 2008. So that is major good news for the state of New York, and it is proof positive that we are headed the right way and these financial policies have made sense for the state. And what does all of that mean? What does all of this museum mean? 511,000 new jobs in the state of New York. That's 511,000 people who have jobs, who didn't have jobs, families who have hope that didn't have hope, and that is what it's all about at the end of the day. A lot of numbers, a lot of statistics, but we have to remember that every statistic, every number is a person. And creating 511,000 hopeful families is a very big deal. And that's what makes this business of politics gratifying and important. Because at the end of the day, you make a difference in people's lives, and we have. And I want to thank all the people who made it possible. Thank you very much. Mr. Henchman, thank you. Kathy Wild, thank you. Bill, thank you very much.